there. My name is Meagan Clanahan. I am the co-owner of Houston Moms, and welcome back to another month of Houston Moms on the Move. So each month we are bringing you an inspirational mom who is moving and doing big things in our community and in their home life. It's designed to inspire you, encourage you, and to let you know that you're not alone in these trenches that they call motherhood, which can feel very lonely. So, today I have another great guest. I'm so thrilled to introduce you to Rachel Gower. She is the owner, I
Yeah,
believe,
both.
uh, both of the Upper Hand Salons. If you are a Houstonian at all, you have seen Upper Hand Salons. I've had the privilege to meet her a couple of times before. We'll get into that in a second. But Rachel, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me, Megan. This is really fun. Thank you.
Yeah, um so here's our funny story. Maybe I'll let you kind of like
We might have a different story. I don't know, but
okay. So we have both been blessed to be on Great Day Houston
yeah.
pretty regularly, and Rachel does that way more regularly than I do. But she goes on and she does really fun things to show you like seasonal hairstyles with all of her like clients, and it's super fun. So we finally met, I don't know, a handful of months ago.
Yeah.
What do you recall what happened?
Well, to me, I thought it was hysterical because I've been going to Great Day Houston once a month for like, I don't know, the last 5 years or something. And, maybe minus a little bit for COVID. But anyway, so the same security guards at the front desk every time. And every time I go in, he acts like he's never seen me before. And that's fine. Like, we check in and his job is security. So I get it. But then one day he starts calling me Megan. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I'm like, well, no, I'm Rachel, but super nice to meet you. And I just go about my business. So then the next month I come back and he's like, hey, Megan. I'm like, no, I'm still not Megan. I mean, it happened at least 3 times. So then I'm like, I must meet this Megan person. Like, I literally did not know who you were. And it didn't occur to me to like look you up or anything or ask Deborah. It just didn't occur to me. So I figured, oh, I must look like her or something. And so then one day we're both sitting in the wings getting ready to do our segment. And you introduce yourself and you're like, I'm Megan. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're the Megan. And by the way, we look nothing alike.
Nothing alike.
And so I decided it must be our bubbly personalities. I don't know what he got, but anyway, it's almost like we knew each other already because like the second we started talking, we had so much in common and just, being, like you said, so blessed to do that show on kind of a regular basis is so much fun because the people there are amazing. And I have met the best people through the folks there at Great Day Houston, just through the producers and Deborah and meeting other guests. And so it's always so much fun. So it was really fun to meet you. But yeah, it was a funny story.
I love it so much because yes, you're right. We look nothing alike, and you're like, I don't, okay. But Great Day is, and by the way, this when this episode airs, this will be like our anniversary, if you will, of when we started with Deborah Duncan was our first guest, and
So
so
cool.
it feels very apropos that we
Yeah,
should be recording together, and so I love it. I loved you immediately when we met and wanted to know more of your
likewise.
story, and so tell us about Upper Hand and how you kind of started it. And also, you are a mom this is where we also have a lot in common. You are a mom of twins.
That's right.
You have twin girls. They're a little bit older than mine.
Yeah.
But talk a little bit about the advent of how all this came to be, because you're a busy lady.
I mean, how far do we want to go back? I'll give you the short version, as short as I can. We started the company 29 years ago. So my husband and I run it together, and in title, I'm the CEO, but really, someone recently asked me if my husband was the brains behind the operation. And I'm like, well, I'm really super offended by your question, but yes, he kind of is. So, but it's like we complement each other. So we started the business. We moved here because my family lives here. And so we thought, well, that would be a good place to do it. And it was kind of at the beginning of the spa revolution. Everyone was doing a spa thing. And so our original concept was nails. We were going to do like a nail spa chain. And that's why it's called the Upper Hand. So
Oh,
that's why, right? It makes more sense now. Yeah. It still works for hair, but it was originally a nail concept.
okay.
So the first 5 years, we opened a shop in River Oaks, and then we quickly expanded and opened another one in Tanglewood, and didn't have kids then. And we literally just worked 24/7, just trying to get, it's like starting a new business. It's really hard.
Yes.
So, about 5 years in is when we moved to a bigger location and we added hair. So we've been doing hair for about 25 years. And that was a big shift for us. And if you know anything about the industry, you would immediately know what I mean, because it's really difficult to switch from nails to hair. And hair is such an important part of people's lives that, like, you really have to know what you're doing. So we had to educate ourselves from the ground up, and so it was hard. But we have a lot of support, and my family's here, and we made lots of really good friends. So I just remember, you know so I was about 26, I guess, when we started. And then at about 30, since we're talking about motherhood, at about 30, I was like, well, it's time now for me to have children. And so we were only about 4 years into our business. And so we weren't really making money yet. It takes a while to make money, and it was going well, but not like gangbusters. So I thought, you probably went through this too, like, now I'm going to get pregnant, and that's just how it's going to work, right? And of course, that didn't go the way it was supposed to. So it took me 4 years to get pregnant. And I literally had given up. I had done all the things that we've all been through, and everyone knows all the stuff. And none of it worked. And, you always have people who are like, just chill, just calm down, just go drink a bottle of wine. And it's like, but none of that worked. So like, I finally, this is funny to me. Really what happened was, I had been trying for 4 years, and I was like, I can't emotionally do this anymore. So we kind of just like stopped trying, and we're like, if it happens, it happens, whatever. And so then my older sister, who had told literally everyone in the world that she had no interest in having children, was never going to have kids, got pregnant. And I was like, what the heck? So she gets pregnant without trying. And I remember it was June, and I came home and I told my husband, like, we're going to try one more time. So we did one more IUI, basically, and it worked. So, had the twins, and it was a good I mean, twin pregnancies are a little tricky, but they were super healthy. And they are literally the best kids. Like, and your kids look the same. Like, I have the best kids. I literally have never really had to punish my kids. Like, I mean, I know that sounds insane, but like, they're just good kids, and they just always chose to do the right thing. I'm sure they didn't sometimes, I just didn't know about it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't like make me crazy or anything like that. I really enjoyed being their mother, and I still do. So then, now little toddlers, and you're trying to run a business. And so that ups the ante and makes everything more difficult. And then you start having those feelings of guilt. Like, where am I supposed to be? Right? Like, am I supposed to be with my business that's still growing and floundering a little bit? And like, I have responsibilities to these employees, or do I need to be with my kids? Like, and you're trying to juggle it. And it's hard. Like, I mean, anyone who says it's not, I mean, that's just not true.
Yeah.
It's hard. So, one of the questions that you had written on the email that you sent me was, what advice would I give a mom who's, obviously trying to balance career and family? And I think the thing that I wish I had been clearer on is, I think I had an unrealistic expectation of things being really put together and perfect all the time.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And we
Mhm.
and that's made worse by social media. But like I remember, I'll give you an example. Like, kids are ready to ride their bike when they're ready to ride their bike. And kids get their training wheels taken off at all different times. It's just like analogous to life, right? And so I was like, no, my kids are going to learn to ride bikes without training wheels by the time they're 3. And I mean, how stupid was that? Right. So we went out to this ranch that had this big, black top, and I took off their training wheels, and they just, fell all over the place. And then they hated riding bikes, and as a result. And so I was finally like, but that's just one example of like trying to push your kids before they're really ready to do something. It's not worth it.
No, and I think we all have that vision in our head, especially if like you and I, like we had thought about the children for a long time. They were in our heads
Yeah.
for a very long time before they actually like were in our bodies.
Yep.
And
Yep.
what they're going to do, what they're going to be, how it was all going to work. I mean, and I tell everyone, it probably embarrasses my son. Um, but like I gave up on him potty training. I'm like, you are just going to do this
So
when you do
funny.
it. And I assume that you're not going to go to kindergarten not being potty trained. And he wasn't. But it wasn't worth the stress for both of us to be like, and then also just discovering like they're just different people and they
They're
have to
different
be
people.
parented differently. Like one needs a little push, one
Yep.
doesn't need that push at all,
Yeah.
self-motivated. And so, kind of speaking back to those times where you had the salon, you have these toddlers and young people and developing people running around.
Yeah.
What was your support system like during that? Because
Oh
I
my
know,
gosh.
like, you mentioned family. So,
Yeah.
like, was that just the big
I
thing?
mean, it was huge for me. Like when I look at young people with young kids now, I think to myself, I hope they have the support. And then when I meet someone who clearly doesn't, who has like 2 or 3 kids, and maybe it's, two parents household, but 2 or 3 kids and 2 jobs, like I don't know, and no family, I don't know how you can do that. Like you literally need a village. So in my case, and part of this is part of the reason why we wanted to move to Houston, is because we figured, well, if we start our business here, then we're going to end up having a family here and we'll stay here. And we wanted to be near my parents. And I have 2 sisters who live here also.
Oh,
So
nice.
so we lived literally a couple blocks away from my parents, and they would pick them up off the bus. They would drop them off places. They literally, take them wherever they needed to go. So I had a built-in system. And then, like I had a nanny here and there or whatever, but my parents were hugely involved, and they spent so much time at their house. And then, we would pick them up from there. So we would go over and have dinner. And so it was just a big family setting. And then my one sister lived very, very close by. And so my girls and 2 of their cousins are really, really close. Like they grew up together basically. And so
Mhm.
that was invaluable. Like I don't know how I would have done it without my parents. And it wasn't just my mom, it was my dad was equal parts. And then, the result of that is, for any grandparents listening, and I'm sure I don't need to explain this, but it's like to have that time with grandchildren, and to as the grandchild having it with the grandparent, it is invaluable. Like you cannot, because once they're grown up, it's harder to form that bond. So
Yeah.
you have all these memories together though. And, my dad did stuff like they had a big backyard. So like one day I went over there and there were all these drawings laid out everywhere, and lots of right angles and triangles and calculations. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, well, Santa Claus is going to bring a zip line this year, but don't tell anybody. So he built a zip line, which was very difficult to do. It was like 50 feet long, and it was so impressive. So, stuff like that, it's like you can't put a price on that. And I think if you asked my kids, they would agree that that was like a really formative part of their childhood. And by the
Yes.
way, I wouldn't have been able to do what I was doing without that. So yeah, but it was a huge balance because it was, again, the struggle of where am I supposed to be right now? And what's the most important thing for me to be doing? And sometimes that's not obvious.
Right. Especially if you're in the moment, you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, what is the right choice
Yeah.
here? And so that kind of goes into my next question. How did you explain to the girls, like, this is what mom does, and this is like, how do you kind of cultivate that appreciation where they are okay with it? Okay-ish, I guess I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Because they do like I got a text yesterday and I was in a meeting and a child who shall go rename remain nameless. If people know me, they know which child it was. Like, hey, I need a ride and I need a ride here and I need a ride here. And I'm like, well, very sorry. I have a meeting from 4 to 5 today and I cannot do that. And
Oh,
later on in the text, she's like, you never have meetings from 4 to 5. And I'm like,
today I do.
sorry, today I do.
Yeah.
So
So tough.
how did you talk to your girls about, what that looked like and like where obviously they respect what mama does, but
Yeah.
that they still feel like loved and in the process.
That probably broke your heart too, because like you wanted to be with your daughter, and yet like
Yeah. No,
that
I mean,
but like what you're doing at the meeting, and
yeah,
that this meeting is going to lead to this really cool thing down the road or whatever.
yeah,
I should have also said my support system involved a lot of other moms. And I mean, like, seriously. So like the girls had a really close group of friends, and you know how kids are, like their friend group morphs over the years, and some kids come and go and then they come back, and but you're still friendly with everybody. And so we had a core group of friends, and they helped me tremendously too, like just pickups. And because like if your kids are all doing the same activities, then it makes sense to carpool and all that. But for us it was a really natural thing, because from the time they were babies we were taking them into the salons, so they grew up being very comfortable walking around and having their hair blown out, and making friends with hairdressers, and hairdressers are so much fun. And so they love little kids, they love being around kids. And my kids always thought the hairdressers were so funny and cool and everything, so they were kind of just like indoctrinated organically. And then you know I think, and I'm sure you relate to this a lot, like when you can, like, it's one thing to say, my parents own this type of business, but then when you can point to something like, oh, my mom was on TV yesterday talking about her business, like, not that that makes it better, but it's something that they can tangibly look at and be really proud of. And I'm sure your kids are always really proud when you're on TV, and because it's cool, it's super cool. And so, and then like, whenever we would win awards or something like that, or recognition, I think that makes them really proud. And, and then, or like if one of their friends' moms says, oh my God, I just got my hair done and I love it so much, like it makes them proud, so I think it just sort of was like a way of life for us.
yeah,
And, you know, then when they get older, like right at your kid's age, that's right when, and maybe it's younger now, a little maybe, but for when my kids were that age, like right in ninth grade is when like all the highlighting starts. So that, the girls want to go get their highlights, and as much
yes,
balayage as you can stand. And so then they became like, everyone was like, oh, what is your mom? So I get text messages from their friends all the time. And
that's
that's been going on for 10 years. Like, what would you do? Or which product should I use? That kind of thing. So, it's just kind of like our family dynamic at this point.
I love that. They're kind of like into the fold of
Yeah.
what has happened. And so then they get to also experience the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
But then they get like the benefits too of like having like a cool recommendation for their friends. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, we'll see when the children think I'm cool. I'll
It hasn't
report back.
started yet for you.
I will report back. It's
Oh
not
my
quite
God.
yet.
I love it.
They're at the point of like, Mom, don't say anything about us right now. I'm still a little embarrassing, but that's
You know
okay.
what though? See, very shortly, you're going to be the cool mom. And and I was going to tell you earlier, because you were talking about driving them places. I'm sure people have told you this, but this is the hardest time. The hardest time is middle school and like ninth and half of 10th. And then as soon as you, like, depending on what you guys are going to do in your family, but as soon as they start driving, and you're going to have a challenge since you have a boy-girl situation.
Yeah.
And I had two girls, but they were doing different activities. So one of them had to be at school at 6 a.m. and the other one not till whatever, 8. And so, they each needed their own car. There was no way we could get that figured out with one car, So somehow we got duped into that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it gets,
Yeah.
even though you have to worry about them driving, your life is going to get a lot easier because you don't have to physically leave what you're doing and go take them somewhere. Even though like you want to be with them, it makes it so much easier.
Well, and it's so funny, I think, how that like natural progression comes where it's like, oh, I love being in the car with you. I love taking you places and whatever. And then it just becomes so, so much that you're just like, and the attitudes are just so,
Yeah.
so much that you're like, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to be semi-okay with you driving
Exactly.
in
I
a
think
year.
they
And
say that's how God makes us, right? Like, so.
right. And like, and my friends who have sent their children to college say the same thing that it's just
Yeah.
by the time the hormones both on both of our sides have prepared us
Yep.
to just be almost ready, where
Yeah.
we're sad, but we're not like
Yeah.
completely heartbroken because we've had kind of these natural separations
Yeah.
over
I
the
totally
next
agree.
over the
Yeah.
last handful of years. And so I guess that's my prayer right now. We'll see how it goes. But we're gonna launch into rapid fire if you're ready,
Oh,
Rachel.
sure.
Okay. So favorite family-friendly restaurant to take your
We
crew.
live in Memorial. And so, like, when you live in this particular area, you can't get outside of the area during dinner time because you'd be in so much traffic. So you're kind of in a bubble. And so I'm going to go with Escalante's because
Okay.
it's our go-to. It's super close to our house and we go there at least once a week and the girls love it. And I love going there too because, they're very, they know their clients in there. And what's cool about it is you see 3 to 4 generations of people in there, of families. And so
Yeah.
you see the little kids that they're in 7th grade, but their moms drop them off so that they could eat there, and they're wearing their Lululemon outfits and they're so cute. And then you see like the juniors in high school, and maybe there's a boy there, and and then you see the young parents with a little tiny kid, and then you see the grandparents. And
Yeah.
so it's super cool. So that's one of our favorites.
Is that the one? Is it City Center? That's the one at City Center?
I think there is one there, but we go to the one that's on Voss and Woodway, or
Okay,
Voss and San Felipe. Voss and Woodway. It's right by Second Baptist.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we do Escalantes as kind of our back to school lunch. So after
Oh,
we go get
fun.
haircuts, I take that because it's on the way back from getting their haircut.
Yeah.
Just like so random. But we've just stopped at Escalantes and but same kind of vibe there too, because it's the
Yeah.
like town and country location.
Yeah.
So it's still very like multi-generational around here.
Yes.
And their tableside guacamole is
Guac.
delicious.
I know. So
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Favorite meal to make that everyone likes to eat.
That's always been a challenge in our family because I have one vegetarian and one person who could just eat meat all day. So I'm going to go with a bowl, like a healthy bowl sort of situation, because what we usually do is just make a bunch of stuff and then you can put it together any way you want it. And so, some people end up with meat, some people end up with tofu, and there's always, vegetables. And we're big, well, my husband isn't, but the rest of us love sweet potatoes. So like sweet potatoes are pretty much a staple with everything. And then for us, at least once a week, we have a dinner with my parents. And so that's usually like salmon or something like that. Like we're big fish people. So
Okay.
yeah, it's really nice.
I like it. Well, you need to cook for me sometime because that sounded
Not
very
good.
healthy and delicious. I do know the challenges of cooking for all sorts of people on the different spectrums. I have a kid who needs to grow up, a kid needs to maintain. I have a husband who needs to sustain his workouts, and then I'm
Yes,
just perimenopause woman over here. So
it's so hard.
it's very fun. Uh, think back to when the kids were younger and the girls were younger. What was your favorite place to take them?
We used to go very regularly to Galveston, and it was just such an easy. We had a place down there, and we would go on all the holidays. So we just have the best, and I think my kids would agree, the best childhood memories from that. So like, every Memorial Day, every July 4th, then we would go for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and so like we did all the parades and all the stuff, and every holiday had all the accessories with it. So like we had hats and, all the different things. And we just had so much fun, just like having family time there. So there's so many really great places around Houston to go, but like Galveston is a really special one for us.
I love that. It's a good place to kind of escape the city for a
Yes.
bit. And people make fun of our beach, but there's a lot to do.
It's what we have.
Use what you have.
It's what we
I think
have.
that's probably a
Yeah.
good beauty tip too. Um,
Yes.
so I know a little bit about you. So I'm guessing I kind of know part of this last question, but favorite thing that Rachel does on her own time?
Oh, well, I love to exercise, and that's been different. Yeah, we've probably talked about that. But I also love to play music. So those are kind of my two like escapism things, and they're wildly different, but they both satisfy like a creative need in me, and also then a need to like exert energy. So I really like both of them, and I try to do both every day. But as we get older, exercise really had like, I know I'm older than you, but like it changes as you get older. So it's not, what I used to do was more like I did some fitness competitions and stuff like that, and that was like a super intense like 2 a day kind of craziness. And like I would never do that again. Like I'm
Yeah.
not even interested in that. But so it's more like finding something that suits my lifestyle at this point, and trying to get back into yoga. But I do this electromagnetic stimulation workout that so it like shocks you while you're working out. So it's super time efficient. I know one day we'll have to talk about that, but it's really cool. And I feel like it's helped because you have to worry about your muscle mass at our age. So, you just have to constantly be doing weight bearing exercises and things like that. So that's
Yes.
my biggie.
I love it. And so as an aside, we were walking into the actual studio one time, and this guy was just pushes by, he's like, and he asked Rachel, "What do you do to work
Oh,
out?"
I forgot about that.
And I was like, "Did you not see this obvious thing?" I'm totally playing because I, but she does. I think you are really gentle with your body now, and
Yeah.
but super fit. And
Thank you.
also we have been big proponents lately of the weight vest. I have been for Houston.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw you post about that. I've never used one.
We've been on the weighted vest trend,
Love.
and it is my new bestie because I can't run anymore. So it's kind of the same thing, like it's seeing what your body can still do. And
Yes.
but I can walk. And this gives me the feeling I'm an all or nothing, right?
Love
So
it. Yep.
like if I'm not gonna sweat my face off, then I'm really not interested in doing it. Like I want to make sure that I feel like I got something out of it.
Yes.
Weighted vest, by the way.
Love that. So you just walk
Love.
around your neighborhood with that on?
Yeah.
So I've never done that. That's so
No,
interesting.
no, well, so I live in the burbs. It's
Yeah.
very suburban basic mom. And we
There's
just
nothing basic about you, but okay.
yeah, I mean, but like it's a pretty basic beat. Like all I needed was like a Starbucks cup in my hand, and I would be like the basic suburban mom. But
So
yes,
funny.
we all walk around in our weighted vest. It's like
Love it.
the new trend. So anyway, if
I
anyone,
love that.
we'll put a link in the show notes. Um, let me know what is it body 20?
Yes, it's body 20.
Okay. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
But yes, we love body 22.
Yeah.
So
It's really cool.
I thought it had to have been. Okay, last rapid fire question, and
Yes.
I will let you like get back to your busy, busy life. Um, this is a broad question. Big
Okay.
question. Your very favorite thing about being a mom.
Oh God. I mean, I'm sure you would say the same thing. Like watching your kids figure stuff out and learn and grow is so satisfying. Watching your kid when they don't know you're watching and seeing them do the right thing, seeing them figure something out on their own. One of our favorite things, the way our house is laid out, our family room is here, and then there's stairs that go up to the second floor, and the girls' bedrooms are on the second floor. So they're up. I don't know if they're going to see this, but they're up on the second floor, and like they're not really here right now, but when they were growing up, so they would be up there, and every once in a while they would argue, but it was very rare that they fought. So
Mm.
they're best friends, and but every once in a while there'd be a little bit of an argument, and so they'd be up there upstairs, and so sitting down in the family room, we can hear everything that they're saying. I don't think they realize it even as adults. So we can hear them, and like before very much time would ever pass, they'd be giggling and laughing. But obviously in one person's room, and hanging out and giggling and laughing, and then let's say it's time for bed or whatever, then you hear one of them say, okay, I love you, and the other one says, okay, I love you, and then they go to bed, and it's just like, does it get any better than that? Like, I don't think so.
No, I love that. And thank you for sharing that with me, especially as a twin mama. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a little bit different, boy and girl, and so
Yeah.
they are a little bit different, but I'm seeing glimpses now of them coming kind of like they they are each other's supporters. And if
Yeah.
push came to shove, nobody's gonna like take on Ryan,
Totally.
nobody's gonna take on Quinn. They're gonna be there. But I saw them like hanging out and having fun this summer and doing things, and it was like when they think it's such a small thing, but they were like on the same raft at the lake this week.
Oh,
And
yes.
like, I seriously started crying because
Yeah.
they were happy and talking to each other. And apparently they decided they could curse if they were on the raft. So it made them feel like cool. And I was like, whatever, it's
So
fine.
funny.
Whatever bonds you, kiddos. Um,
Exactly.
I'm
Whatever
grateful
works.
for it.
That's
Um,
so sweet though. It's moments like that where you're just like, okay, like it looks like they understand how to be a good person. They
yes.
understand how important family is. They understand, sticking together. And so it's super gratifying. No, I would have cried too. That's a really sweet story that they're, and I love the fact that that's their safe place. Like if they're on the raft island in the middle of the lake, they can curse.
Yes. And so it's like, it's fine. There's no parents that can get to
Right.
you at that point.
Never.
They know we have to circle back around.
That's
Um,
so funny.
Gosh, I could just like talk to you for like
Oh, I know. You're so much
um
fun to talk to.
this was such a good conversation, and
Good.
I hope, I know that I found some nuggets of wisdom. I know that there are a lot of our listeners who did as well. So I'm so thankful for you, and I'm thankful, for the way that you like move and shake around Houston. Remind us how many locations Upper Hand Salon.
We have two locations right now. One of them's in River Oaks and the other
Okay.
one's in Memorial. And the Memorial one's kind of new. It's beautiful. And so just go to our website. It's theupperhand.com. And then of course we're on Instagram and all the stuff. And we just had some really exciting news. We had a bunch of hairdressers compete in this contest and they won the gold prize for the US. So they're representing the United States in a global competition in Italy next month. So we're
Oh,
all going to Italy. It's amazing. Like it's super, super cool. So it's kind of like the Olympics of hairdressing. And so yeah, so these are the people. So the people who work at the Upper Hand are, I have everything from new talent, like people out of school that we train and they're apprentices. And then I have people that with 25 years of experience. And so there's someone for everyone out there. And we're really big on the consultation. So, we try to put you with the right person. Then you have a consultation. And then, from there, it usually the magic happens. And if we don't have you with the right person, then we can switch that. But yeah, so go to our website. We'd love to have new clients.
I love that so much. And the consultation is super important. The last thing you want to walk out is like disappointed for, as you
Yeah.
mentioned at the top of the show, like our hair feels very important to us. Like
Yes.
it is important, which brings me to my last question, and I promise I'm wrapping up.
No, it's
What is the
great.
one hair tool or hair product that a mom needs to have in her arsenal?
Ooh. I mean, it depends on your length and everything. I'm huge on heat protectant. So like if one product, heat protectant, but really and truly, and I'm sorry, it's going to be a longer answer than you wanted, but
Huh.
but like for best results, you always want to have a leave-in heat protectant. So that's some kind of milky, creamy, lightweight product that you apply when the hair is just damp
Okay.
and then you would blow dry it in, even if you're just doing a rough dry. And then if you're going to use a heat tool after your hair is dry, like a curling iron, you would want to use dry heat protectant. So that's a spray that goes on like a hairspray. You section the hair, spray it, curl it. It protects the hair, especially if you have highlighted hair. So those two components, of course, a full regime of the best shampoo and conditioner. That's all really, really important. But if you have to like pick two, I would do a leave-in conditioner. It can be a spray or a lightweight fluid, and then a dry heat protectant. And then I'm a big fan of the Dyson. My daughter is a big air wrap person. So those are tricky to learn how to use though on your
Yeah.
own. You have to really know what you're doing. I literally don't do my hair. Like people make fun of me. I don't wash my own hair. It's really bad. But I go to the salon once a week and someone does it for me and it's wonderful. I mean, why would I not do that?
But like you own the business. I would do that too.
And honestly, it's my favorite day because I'm getting my hair beautified, but also I get to sit in someone's chair and hear what's going on in their life. And
Oh.
that's really fun. So I highly recommend it. You're all worth it.
Well, I mean, listen, you like there have to be benefits for like the like financial sacrifice and all the things that you've
Yes.
done over the years. And so like if you owned a sandwich shop, you would probably eat a sandwich once a week, you know?
That's exactly right. The same thing.
Like, so I get it. Okay. Rachel, such a joy. I know we will be seeing each other hopefully
Absolutely.
at the security desk or
Yeah,
wherever
right.
we see each other. We are going to pop links for Upper Hand Salons
Oh, great. Thanks.
in the comments below, as well as if you want to send me your favorite heat protectant
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
we'll put those in the comments. And then I'm going to put a link to all of our Houston Moms on the Move episodes. So if you've missed one, you can play catch up. But we will be back next month with another Mama on the Move. Moms that are doing big things in Houston, continuing to inspire and engage us. But we will see you then. Thanks so much
Thank
for
you so
joining us.
much. Thank you.